Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Welcome to lesson number 42 of the basic Nahw. We have been doing commanding and forbidding tense. Today we are going to review commanding tense. So let's continue. We learn about the steps of following or making the commanding tense. So let's continue. Here we have the three sigas from the anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antum. Now we know that these six sigas are used to make the commanding tense. We have here anta, antunna, and anti. So let's start with anta. Start off with the second person normal, that is tazhabu, zahaba yazhabu, tazhabu. So first step that we are going to follow is to make it lightest. The word which ends with the dhamma, we know that to make it lightest, we change the dhamma into the sukoon. So see here, we made it lightest, tashab. The second step is to remove the ta, that is the sign of the mudare, and it becomes like this. We know that it is not pronounceable. To make it pronounceable, we know that a helper alif, or we call it in Arabic Hamzatul Wasl, and it is called Hamzatul Wasl because it is different from Hamzatul Qata, which has a Hamza. This Hamzatul Wasl has no Hamza in it. So this Hamzatul Wasl is added to this command tense to make it pronounceable, and the harka can be determined by the second root letter. If it has fatha or the kasra, it will get this alif, or hamzatul wasl will get this kasra. And if it has a dhamma, then this second root letter like this, if it has a dhamma, hamzatul wasl will get a dhamma. It is also called as aliful wasl because it is quite different from the hamzatul qata, which has the hamza on it. And because it resembles the alif, that is why it can be called as alif al wasl or hamzatul wasl. So this is how we can change tashabu into izhab by following these three steps. So anta izhab, that means go. This is how we change this fi'l mudare into the fi'l amr. Now we have antunna, help. Start off with second person and we are going to make tansunna into the command tense. Let's see. Make it lightest. You know that the hunna and antunna versions remain same and there's no dropping of the noon because this noon is not from the father hamza in which it has the noon that we have is the noon arab. But hunna and antunna, this noon is called the pronoun. This is the pronoun noon. All right, so this shows that these two words of Hunna and Antunna versions, they show that this is the feminine form of the verb. So this is not from those of Farad Khamsa, which has the Nunun Arab. So make this into lightest, which will remain the same for Tansunna. Tansunna means to help. And first of all, we are going to, the second step that we are going to follow is that to remove the ta, that is the sign of the mudari. It becomes like this, something like this, which is not pronounceable. So when a word is not pronounceable or which has no haraka or the spoon, we are going to put the hamzatul wasl before it, like this. And the haraka depends on the second letter, like here, it has a dhamma. We are going to put the dhamma on this hamzatul wasl, and it becomes unsurna. Alhamdulillah. Now the next word is the siga is anti, and we have taken the word tata'allamina. We know that this is ya mukhataba and it is one of the afal al khamsa. So here, first make it lightest, and we know that afal al khamsa, to make it light or lightest, it is the sign is the hasfa noon or the dropping of the noon. It becomes tata'allamin. The next step that we are going to follow is to remove the ta. After removing this first star, we have got this ta'allameen. We know that now ta has a fatha and it is pronounceable. So there is no need for this hamzatul wasl and it will remain like ta'allameen. So izhab unsurna ta'allami. So see here, all the faili are different. It has got a sukoon, while hunna and antunna. We know that this antunna version remains the same because it is antunna, and all the forms and all the rules and regulations, this antunna and hunna versions do not change. So it becomes unsunna, only this ta, that is a sign of the mudari, is removed. Then we have anti. Here, this is from afar al khamsa. This is how we are going to drop the noon, hasfin noon, and we are going to make our command tense for anti. Now, let's do some example from Aslama and Yuslimu family. The family for Bab Ifal. We know Aslama Yuslimu Islaman for Huwa Muslimun. So here we are going to use this command tense, that how we are going to make the fail for this Aslama Yuslimu family. So we have taken this word Anzara Yunziru, and we have taken the Antunna version Tunziruna. So let's see here. We know that Tunziruna is from Afar al Khamsa, and to make it lighter, we are going to remove the noon, that is Hasfin noon. So after removing it, we got Tunziru. So here now, the second step is to remove the star, that is the sign of the mudare. So after removing the star, we got this, and which is quite not pronounceable. So if we have this word which is not pronounceable, we are going to add the hamzatul wasf, and it becomes anziru. We know that this alif, and remember this, there is an exception for the Aslama family, that is why we have taken this as an example. You can see here the Hamza. So we notice that for all the other words that we didn't add this Hamza, as I mentioned to you that this is the Hamzatul Wasl that we add here, and here there is without the Hamza for all the other. But this is the exception for the Aslama family, because the commands in Aslama family always begin with this alif which has got the Hamza, because in the family, this family contains the Hamza for Aslama Yuslimu. You can see here, this has the Hamza here, so it will remain. And this is the only exception to the rules we have did for the command tense. So, and inshallah, we will see that also, and we will do more examples when we will do this in our self studies. So for now, know that if our fail is rhyming with the asnama, and past tense is the yuslimu in the present tense, we always know that it is from asnama yuslimu family, and if we are going to make the command tense, we are going to put the hamza like this here, anziru. We know that the haraka on this first alif, or the hamzatul wasl, or this hamza, depends on the second root letter, which has got the kasra. That is why we are going to put the fatha here. So it is anziru. This is how we are going to make the command tense for aslama yuslimu family. This is the faili for bab ifal. So let's practice a few commanding and forwarding tenses. Our first word is yes tabshiruna. Yes tabshiruna. So here, first of all, just a quick recap for their families, that what is yes tabshiruna means they receive good tidings. It is from, we know the istaghfara, yastaghfiru, and so it is family 10, istabshara, yastabshiru, istabshir. We have this command, and our ism file is mustabshir, mustabshirun, and our ism maf'ul is mustabshirun, and the noun form is istibshar or istibsharun. You can say like this: istaghfara, yastaghfiru, istighfaran, fahuwa mustaghfirun. So following that, we are going to do the surf of this word. So yastabshiruna. We know that how to make the forbidding. We are for afar al khamsa, we are going to drop this noon, but this sign of the mudare will remain the same for forwarding or the faili nahi. Only the la is added before this word. So dropping the noon, we get la tabshiru. Thus tabshiru. So this is the forwarding tense. Then we have, because we know that this is our antum version. Now we have the commanding tense. We know that for commanding, we just did it. We know that for fa'al al-khamsa, we are going to drop the noon, and we are also going to drop, the second step is going to drop this ta, that is a sign of the mudari, and we got like this. And we know that what will be the next step? We know that this word without this hamzatul wasl is not pronounceable. So we are going to use this, or we are going to add this hamzatul wasl, and we are, you know that here, the you know that here, see this sheen, it is got the kasra, so we know that we are going to put the kasra on this because it depends on kasra and fatha on this second arch root letter. It is the bashara, you know that the root letter the bashara, so sheen is the second root letter, so it depends on the second root letter. It has got the kasra or the fatha, we are going to put the kasra, so it becomes istabshiru, istabshiru, la tastabshiru, istabshiru, forbidding and commanding. Now let's see the next word, ta'lamun. First, recognize its root letters and its family. So it belongs to family one. We know that, and it is from alima ya'lamu, family one. Samia yasmau. So here we know that it is all right. So here, first make it lightest. So this dhamma is changed into the sukoon. And for forbidding, we are not going to drop this ta. It will remain the same, and we are going to add the la here. So ta'lamu becomes la ta'lamu. La ta'lamu. Alima ya'lamu. Now here, we know that ya'lamu becomes ta'lamu for anta. So la ta'lam here becoming sukoon. We'll get the forbidding la ta'lam. So commanding, how we are going to make the command? Again, drop this dhamma, make it into sukoon. And also drop this sign of the mudari, becomes like this, like removing this ta, we get this ayn with the sukoon. We know that it cannot be pronounced, so we are going to add this hamzatul wasl. And the haraka will depend on the second last letter or the second root letter, and it has got the fatha, so we are going to put the kasra here. For fatha and kasra, we are always going to put the kasra, so it becomes ilam. Alima ya'lamu, ta'lam, ta'lamu, and ta'lamu becomes ilam. And also the ism file and ism maf'ul can be alim, fahuwa alim, and fahuwa ma'lumun. Okay, then the next word is tunazzilina. Tunazzilina, it is from nazzala yunazzilu tanzilan. So it is from family two, allama yu'allimu, because this shadda is easy to recognize. It is from nazzala yunazzilu, tunazzilu, and tunazzilina. This is the anti form of this, nazzala yunazzilu. So here for forbidding, we know that again, because it is one of the afal al-khamsa, drop the noon. It becomes tunazzili. And for forbidding, add a la. In the beginning, it becomes la tunazzili. And this ta, the sign of the mudari, will remain the same for forbidding. It becomes la tunazzili. For commanding, again, follow the same rules. Dropping of the noon has been noon. It becomes tunazzili. And we know that it is easy to pronounce now. It doesn't got any sukoon, it got a dhamma, and it is now pronounceable, so it will remain the same. So the command form will be tunazzili, tunazzili, tunazzilina, la tunazzili, tunazzili. It is from nazzala yunazzilu tanzilan. فهو منزل, and for the ism maf'ul can be munazzalun, and its imperative will be, or you can say the fi'l amr will be nazzil, and for tunazzilina it becomes tunazzili. Then we have the next word taraja, taraja'a. So taraja'ani, first of all, for forbidding, again, it is one of the afal al-khamsa. For afal al-khamsa, hasbin noon is the sign for light and lightest, make it lightest. By dropping the noon, it becomes tataraja'a. So tataraja'a, for forbidding, we are going to add the la. So after adding the la, it becomes la tataraja'a, while the star remains the same for forbidding. Then for commanding, we are going to drop the noon again, and we're also going to drop this sign of the mudari. So it becomes taraja'a, taraja'a. So here it is taraja'a. It is from tasa'ala family, taraja'a, yataraja'u, taraju. So here this becomes tataraja'ani becomes la tataraja'a and taraja'a. Next word is yasrikna. The next word is yasrikna. So here it is from family one. We can say saraka yasriku. So the Hunna version yasrikna. We know that the indirect forbidding. So yasrikna for forbidding, it will remain the same because it is a Hunna version. So it becomes la yasrikna. For command again, because it is the Hunna version, so noon will remain the same because you sign it is the pronoun. It is not the noon al-i'rab. It is a noon al-niswa for Hunna version. And while we are going to drop this ya, that is the sign of the mudare, and it becomes like this. And because it cannot be pronounced, so we are going to add this hamzatul wasl. And the kasra will depend on the second root letter, and we are going to write like this: is rikna, because ra has a kasra here, so it becomes is rikna. So Alhamdulillah, these are all fail, and we made their forbidding and commanding tenses. So in this way, in the Quran, you can follow the process and you can see how these commands and forbiddings are used in the Quran. Alhamdulillah. So with that, I conclude this session. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.